Welcome back, friends. Today we're reviewing the Air Jordan 3 Seoul 2.0. Before we start with the review, just wanted to remind everyone that we're giving away a pair of shattered backboards this month to one of our viewers. To enter, simply find us on Instagram. The link is in the video description. Find our shattered backboard giveaway post, follow us, like the post, and comment your shoe size for a chance to win a brand new pair. Good luck to everyone entering. Also, don't forget to find me and other sneakerheads on the Sneakers Canada Discord. Both our Instagram and Discord links are in our video description. Feel free to join. It's a great community to help each other cop hard to get sneakers at retail. Really great place for me. I only buy retail, and the community has certainly helped me cop a couple of hard to get pairs over the last couple of years. See you all there. The original Air Jordan 3 Seoul released back in 2018 as a 30th anniversary celebration of the 1988 Korea Seoul Summer Olympics. It featured the South Korea flag on the right shoe of the tongue, and on the inside it said Seoul on the left inner tongue, and it says Harmony in Progress on the right hand side. Released in very limited numbers and only in the South Korea market. This is a pretty hard shoe to get back when it first came out. And because of that, the prices went crazy on the resale market, making it impossible for someone like me who only buys retail to be able to get a pair. Like you can see the prices here, like smaller sizes for over $1,000 and larger sizes. I don't think anyone's going to buy it at $16,000 Canadian. So quite a lot of money for this pair. Looking at the StockX photos, you can see it's a very, very clean white looking shoe, and really awesome of Nike to re-release these in 2025. Although it's a little bit of an aged version that we'll see here. So yeah, you can see here it's more aged, like he calls it, a reimagined version. And as we'll go through in the review, there are some subtle changes from the original. All right, on to the unboxing. You can see the top half of the box. You got the Jumpman on top of clouds. On the bottom half, you got this really cool embossed elephant print all around the box here. It's textured, so you can definitely feel it by just rubbing your finger over it. And you've got the little pull tab at the bottom box. Official colorway is white, black, sport, royal. All right, looking up here, the bottom. So yes, that elephant print embroidery is all over the bottom half of the box. Really, really cool design. Open it up, and it's even cooler. It's actually wrapped up in this little ribbon. It's tied down this little ribbon. Yep. So let's pull this open here. Carefully. Never be able to rewrap that again. All right, so let's start unpacking these. Oh, let's look at the paper. Almost forgot. Okay, we got some Korean writing there. That's actually featured on one side of the shoe behind the tab, but we'll look at that later. Open these up carefully. That's just really nice paper. It sounds really great too. Just ASMR and opening these ones up. Just got to be super careful. Each shoe is individually wrapped. Of course, they always do this for anything with premium materials because you don't want it to be scuffed. All right, there's the first one. Oh, there's Nike ear tab on there too. So there's the left shoe. Let's get over to the right shoe and see what else is in here. All right, there's the other one there. Ooh, just trying to be super careful with this pair. It's just wrapped up so nicely here. Slowly put this away. Don't want to wreck this here. It's just such a nice box. Nothing else is in there, so let's put these guys away. Yeah, I just want to be super careful with this pair because it's just the presentation is just so good. This one here. All right, there you go. Nike Air Tap. There you go. First look at the Seoul 2.0 Jordan 3. All right, let's start taking a look at these guys with the right shoe here. Starting with the outsole here. You've got, actually I'll bring both pairs up here. You've got a mismatched outsoles in sail, red and blue, with the red and blue swapped on the toe as well as the Nike there. So yeah, and then you get to the midsole. This is much more yellow than I've ever seen in the midsole. This is a very, very yellow midsole, so I've only ever seen it that yellow before. And then you have the toe box. The elephant print is this very, very hairy suede, so it's a very different material that I've seen before. You've got the Nike Air heel tab on the back. This is also aged in sail, but it looks actually pretty white in comparison to the eyelets here, the lace hole eyelets there, as well as the midsole, because yeah, it's Seoul, but it looks almost white in photos, but we can do a comparison later. There's a bit of protection there for the collar, because this is a really nice suede type material on there, so it just protects it from getting scuffed too much in transport. And then on the inside, pull the laces out here, and of course, almost forgot to pull these guys out. We got the paper shoe trees again. All right, so we'll get a look inside. So you've got just a Nike Air on the insole there, and that material is just very like satin kind of silk feeling to it. It's very, very smooth feeling type material. On the inside of the right tongue here, you see the Korean word here that means attachment, familiarity, love, compassion, and connection. It's the same one that's featured on the wrapping paper that's inside the box there. And let me get inside here and the insole. So you see a Dream Cell insole, and with the Nike Air there in pretty basic standard fare. The Dream Sole isn't exactly the most comfortable insole, but once I get on feet, we'll see how comfortable this pair actually is. All right, let's grab the other shoe here, because there's slight differences here. So it has the same pad over here to protect it. You can see that material there. It's just a nice silky material that's on the collar there. You got the Nike Air tag, OG style tag, nice and thin. And then on the tongue, the front of the tongue, we'll just pull this stuff out of here first. More shoe tree, paper shoe tree. All right, so again, on the front of the tongue here, you've got the Korean flag on this side, on the left shoe. And then on the back of it is the Korean word that means dream. So the difference between the 2018 pair was that on one of the shoe, it said Seoul on one side, and on the other side was a word that meant harmony and progress. Looking further, this pair, you can see this leather is actually a little bit yellow, so it's hard to see in the camera. It looks white. Great material. It's nice and soft, just like your typical Jordan 3. You've got that inside lining that's really soft, and the leather is nice and soft, just like every other Jordan 3 that's been released in the last few years. So great looking shoe. Still not exactly sure the comfort level of these, but well, first things first, let's compare it to some of the other pairs that I have here, and then we'll get them on feet afterwards. Alrighty, the first pair that we'll really compare to is a very, very similar looking shoe is the white cement reimagined. You can see that even though the white cement outsole is yellowed and aged, the Seoul 2.0 is way, way, way more yellow. Looking at the leather, not as much of a difference here, but you can see, it's a little bit more yellow on the Seoul 2.0. And then, of course, you can see the difference between the elephant print. It's a very, very hairy suede versus the nubuck that's on the white cement. And you can see the heel tab, very similar color here. So, but that outsole is just massively, massively yellow. So it's a stark difference. The next shoe that I'll compare it to is the True Blue. This is the 2016 version, if I remember right. So this is not reimagined. This is original white, and you can see how yellow it is. Look at that. Look at the heel tab, white versus aged. And then, of course, the outsole is like very, very yellow. They share actually similar colors on the inside, the red and blue, so that's kind of cool. And then you can see this is a very clear look at the leather. Look how yellow the leather is on the Seoul 2.0. And of course, Nike added that yellow piping to the edge of the Seoul 2.0 on that leather, and it just makes it a little less obvious. But an interesting note is that the tongue itself isn't really aged, so you can see there's a glaring difference between the yellow leather on the upper and then on the tongue as well. Here you go, side by side look with the white cement. So the white cement is also not really aged on the leather, so it's a very, very yellow. It makes it look kind of different in pictures. So when you look at pictures of Seoul 2.0, it makes the midsole less yellow. But and then I'm going to compare it to the Alma Maniere While You Were Sleeping, which has the most yellow outsole I've seen before, and this just totally destroys it. This is how much more yellow it actually is. But of course, with the aged yellow, aged white leather, the contrast itself makes it so that it doesn't look terribly aged. So very different way that they remastered this, and very unique look. Very different when you wear it versus compare it side by side with a different pair. All right, let's get these on feet and see how they look and feel. Well, I must say on feet, these might be the most comfortable Jordan 3s I've ever owned. It just feels very, very soft everywhere. I can't believe how well this feels. This might be a good daily shoe for me, just to walk around and just for how comfortable it is. Because, you know, the problem with Jordan Retros is they're never the most comfortable. They're not great for walking 20 kilometers a day, but these things are extremely comfortable. All right, let's look at some studio shots. And of course, now that I brought it up, you can see how much yellow the upper is, and you can see the contrast with the tongue, which is actually really white. Not very noticeable at first, but it's pretty yellow. It's actually an interesting look. And then, of course, the contrast to the midsole there being really, really yellow in person with the yellow upper leather. It looks a lot better. And here's a clear look of that yellow piping that's on the edge of the leather cut. Of course, the Nike Air looks almost white here. Again, it's just contrast, right? So you see it in person. There are the Korean words behind the tongue. And here's a great look at that silky smooth material that's on the inside of the collar. Here's a close-up of that really hairy suede. It's the first time I see material like this made for elephant print. Really, really cool and different look. And of course, the mismatched outsoles. There you have it. That's the Seoul 2.0. Awesome shoe. And like if you're able to find one, definitely a must-have in terms of comfort. I think I'm going to do a video just talking about comparing the comfort of Jordan 3. So you might see that in a future video there. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next review.